This is how we're going to do things. Blah, 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 blah. Smoke and mirrors, David Copperfield. Instead, they're like, we're going to keep you guys posted. We're going to tell you exactly how we do things. Okay, how? We're not going to tell you. What? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tower Die. I, of course, am your host, Captain Hooks, and with me, as always, is Panda Man and CL Jesus. Take the wheel. We have world champions, or split champions, or spring champions, or we've got champions.
Regional champions, maybe?
I don't know. Can they even be called champions?
Yeah, champions might be strong.
They're like winners so far.
Yeah, it's like being called champion of Little League.
Yeah, it's like you're the tallest short kid.
Shortest tall kid?
Shortest tall kid? No, because then you're in the bottom.
I think we're just describing average people.
But yes, you're perfectly normal. You are the Poe Belter of life.
Thank you. That's all I really want.
You're perfectly adequate.
That's what I want for my future son or daughter. I just want them to be Poe Belter.
You want to be a tiny little Asian kid named Eugene?
Yeah, Eugene Parks Adams.
Eugene Park the man.
Love it. Don't tell my wife.
Don't tell my wife. Yeah. That's what his name is. That's what little Pan's name's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as stated, we have champions of their respective LCS.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, not what I think anyone expected at the beginning of the season. And I have the recordings to prove it definitely wasn't us.
Yeah, we totally didn't see this one coming.
No, I think we had CLG in the bottom 4.
Like almost relegated. I don't know. It was
relegated.
Low.
It was pretty low.
Yeah. And they really turned it around.
Rightfully so. Going into it with 2 rookies, replacing your best player,
mm-hmm.
and one of your more consistent players.
Mm-hmm.
No one looked at that team on paper and said, you know what? These guys are going to be contending for the championship of the split.
I think next spring split, when we go through all this drama again,
yeah,
the team I'm going to pick to win is going to be the team everyone expects nothing from.
So
that seems to be the way that happens.
So you're going to pick Team Impulse, or what are they called? J Esports or J Sports?
Jeff's esports team?
His name is Jay.
Oh, Jay's esports team.
Jay's esports team. Yeah. That guy's not a pompous douche.
Yeah, I'm picking that team because nobody expects anything, so they're obviously going to do well.
Like the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, just like them.
Mm-hmm. So, getting right to it, as stated, we got champions.
Mm-hmm.
On the American side, we had CLG versus TSM.
Yeah.
El Clasico. The unexpected CLG upstarts making their way into the finals versus the aged veterans, complete with shitty season in tow.
Yeah.
Managed to make it all the way to the finals, and it was a 4-4. It was a 2-2 series going into Game 5, and out of his back pocket, Stixxay pulls Ginsu's Tristana.
Oh my god, I can't believe he actually won with it.
Like, well, I mean, Ginsu's is so stupid and broken.
Yeah, but
it's just a stupid item.
I don't know. They fucking won with a stupid cheese strat. Good for them.
But you want to know what? Listen, if you're dumb enough to let them do it,
that's true.
Then fuck you for letting it happen.
How bad do you think DoubleLift feels that CLG won with a Protect the ADC comp?
Right? In a situation where they haven't really played that at all this season.
CLG loses everything, while DoubleLift is on them, with doing only Protect the ADC.
Except the summer split last season when they finished first.
Yeah, except for that. But they weren't doing Protect the ADC then.
Oh, yeah.
DoubleLift leaves, CLG starts doing Protect the ADC again, and they win another split.
Against them.
Yeah.
That's like in a battle with a Jedi cutting his hand off with his own lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's just
and then saying, "Give me a hand."
And then taking the hand and sticking it up his ass.
Oh God.
Need your hand? There you go. Take the
Or
ring
you
off.
you gave yourself a round of applause.
There you go. Golf clap. Golf
Yeah.
clap. So yeah. So CLG. See, the thing is while the games were good and relatively interesting to watch, and yeah, the cheese strat in the fifth game, it really wasn't a cheese strat. I guess
It's
you
kind
can't.
of cheese.
I don't necessarily, because that's how you play Tristana now, though. Technically, like it's not
It
cheesy because
happened in like 2 games.
well, no one plays Tristana really,
Yeah.
but the people that do, that's how you build her. It's just
I mean, it's like that's
she
saying
sucks otherwise.
that's like saying that's that's just how you play Zerg. You 6-pool.
You Zerg.
No, it's still cheese.
Yeah, you're talking about StarCraft, man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
People get it. People get it. People
Nobody
understand my
gets
StarCraft jokes.
No, they don't. Your StarCraft jokes aren't funny. They aren't relevant. No one likes StarCraft, not even Koreans.
Yeah, I know.
You're an old man talking about an old man game, and I'm older than you. And how does that work?
And old in spirit.
Yeah, you're an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
You have the soul of a 65-year-old pantsless man.
Smoking a corncob pipe.
Smoking a corncob pipe, reading booby mags. That's your old soul right there. His name is Elmer.
That's an apt description. I love it.
It's very specific. He's a certain type of man. He knows what he likes. What he likes is weird, though.
Only boxer shorts.
Only boxer shorts. Boxer shorts for beer companies. Like Budweiser boxer shorts or High Life.
Yeah.
You got
Steel
them.
Reserve boxer shorts.
You got them as like a free gift when you bought like a 30-pack. It came with boxers. You just kept buying those type of things.
Is that not what you're supposed to do?
Is that, hey, listen, free underwear,
That sounds
man.
like a solid retirement plan to me.
My grandfather bought a pair of socks one time because he thought they said socks on them, but they said sex on them. He didn't know these. Good Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
That's a good story.
It was a solid story. Oh, good on you, Grandpa. So, but anyway, back to the LCS, the championship game.
Those DSM CLG games were a little weird, I thought.
Yeah, and they got progressively weirder, I felt.
The interesting thing about it is that CLG went into it with very specific idea on how they wanted to play their game. And they totally did. Yeah. Strong rotations, heavy commitment to the split pushers.
Sure.
And then try and not team fight.
Run away as much as possible.
Which, against TSM kind of makes sense. You don't really want a team fight with Bjergsen and DoubleLift.
No, I mean, Bjergsen played really good in Game 5, specifically. And I mean, you could sit here and break down the games individually and talk about what was good and what worked and what didn't, and what was bad and blah, blah, blah. But really, the fireworks started after the game, the close of the game.
In the post game.
And then beyond that.
Yeah.
Because the first kind of controversial moment, we'll call it, which really is only controversial because Reddit's filled with a bunch of 12-year-olds that think everything somebody says about somebody is, oh, shots fired.
Everything is shots fired.
Yeah, it's competitive sports. There's always going to be shots fired. The sooner you realize that, the less impressive it becomes every time you hear it. So, to be more specific about it, in the post-game interview on the desk, when you had all of CLG and they were talking to Aphro, Aphro said some things that maybe weren't the most pleasant about DoubleLift, alluding to DoubleLift. He didn't name him.
Yeah.
But
he didn't come out. He didn't come right and say DoubleLift's a fucking cock.
Which he might as well have said.
He might should have.
Yeah, listen, if you're gonna do something, use your whole, just use your whole ass. Don't half-ass it.
Use your grown-up voice.
Yeah. If you're gonna call somebody out, fucking call them out.
Or
Man
not.
up.
Or not.
Or just or don't.
Yeah.
So he effectively called out DoubleLift, saying how they don't, there's no egos on the team.
Nobody's selfish.
And nobody's selfish. And how this is, when he first joined the team, it was protect the ADC and keep your mouth shut. And he would never have had the opportunity to grow like these players did. And he wants to foster kind of a new thing about it. And then the other kind of more questionable comment that he said was that he won this for Seraph and Link and Neontons and Dexter and who else?
Is that it?
I don't know if there's 4 or 5 of them that he mentioned.
Whatever.
It's the five
CLG
ex-CLG players. And everybody was like, because when he pulled the camera out, Xmithy was sitting there next to Darshan, and they were kind of looking at each other. And Xmithy had this face on where he was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" It was just a weird thing to say.
I don't know. I think that Aphro was just probably friends with those guys, and he was like, "Yeah, I did it for those because they never made it to the finals."
I guess, but it's kind of a weird thing to say in that moment.
I mean, you know, he's a fucking weird guy.
It was like like making a political statement at the VMAs or something stupid like that.
At the VMAs, yeah.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's like when you make a political statement at the VMAs and stupid shit like that, or the music awards.
You go to the MTV Video Awards, and you're like, you know, America should really be paying for everybody's college so that we can get rid of the military institutional complex.
Hashtag Black Lives Matter, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, it's the MTV Movie Awards. You're getting a popcorn trophy.
Exactly. No one is saying that they're wrong for saying that stuff. It's just that's not the proper avenue to be political, surrounded by a bunch of glad-handing yes men or stupid ignorant fans who are just there because they want to see something fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it.
You're not. I was gonna say you're not preaching to a group of people who are gonna be like, you want to know what? He's right, and that's some really poignant shit. And they're gonna be like, what?
Shots fired.
Yeah, exactly. Odd shot posted. Shots fired. Aphro Moo says, "Fuck you to DoubleLift in not so many words."
Everyone's the Daily Mail on Reddit. If I was in Aphro's position, you know, I might have not said those kind of things on the Riot stream. You hold that off for your Travis interview. Or your press conference that probably should be held after the game with
or your post-game
tweet. 3 esports reporters.
Yeah. Although now that ESPN and Yahoo are into it, I mean, you have legitimate sources. Yeah. I mean, Jacob Wolf works for ESPN now.
Right.
Travis works for Yahoo now. You have large-scale news outlets that are covering esports.
That shit's crazy.
It should start to get professional.
I don't think the things he said was unprofessional.
No. I don't mean him. I mean how everything is handled.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I agree, and I know it's never going to happen, but I'm just saying is because you now have real, legit news outlets and stuff, I think you should now start to look at the other sports as your guidelines to be like, hey, we should do this.
Yeah.
This will give better access to our players, our stars, instead of having them sit up on the fucking podium after the game.
For like half an hour.
Yeah. Just have them sit down in front of real news people who cover this shit, who are probably there covering this shit.
Right.
Give them a specific time where they can ask questions in front of the team. Have it televised, streamed, whatever you want to do with it. And then it's an interesting look at how these guys approach that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Being professional, being athletes, being real people.
You do the same thing that you do at the end of a basketball game. You grab one. I mean, they kind of have it already. They're just not letting other reporters in. Yeah, exactly. Right? The format's there. They have the guys on stage. They ask them a few questions. They go back to the desk with other players and they break down more stuff. You just get rid of that break down more stuff segment, replace it with an actual press conference.
Yeah, replace it with a post. And you don't have to do it for every single game, but for a championship game or like a semifinals game, it's big stuff where you want to hear what the winners and losers have to say.
Where it's the only game that day.
Exactly, where the people care about as long as the questions don't suck.
That's kind of the crux of it. You can't ask stupid ass questions.
But I like to think if you have somebody being hired by ESPN and you have Yahoo, they have a modicum of professionalism to their institution.
One would think. Yeah.
One would assume. I mean, ESPN covers every sport. So you have to assume that they're going to handle esports with the same level of professionalism and quality that they handle baseball and football and hockey and tennis and college basketball and everything else that they cover.
Well, it kind of comes down to Travis at that point. Well, specifically for
ESPN,
that.
Well, ESPN would be
whatever.
capable,
Because, you know, Travis's interviews are typically pretty fluffy, you know? What kind of lunch did you have before you went to the playoff game?
Yeah, but I feel like now that he's not working for
game trailers.
Yeah, for GameSpot, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever. Game something.
He's definitely. I watched some of his stuff, and he's definitely seems a little more. I don't want to say aggressive because he's not more aggressive, but he definitely is taking more liberties at not just sounding like a yes man type guy. Where everything Riot does is fine and yay.
He's taking a more critical approach, I think.
He's taking more of a journalistic approach.
There you go.
You know, like what real journalists do.
Yeah.
Where they don't just accept things at face value. He's actually giving more of a legitimate opinion and not the kind of opinion that someone who doesn't want Riot to get mad at them would give. You know, kind of like the opinions we give.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just went through puberty. That's adorable.
It happens. I do once a week, you know. It's good. Good times.
And I guess that's good, and that could be a good reason why Riot wouldn't want them to ask questions.
That's true. You don't want to ask players tough questions. They might come off looking stupid.
Or they might say something that Riot doesn't appreciate. Like, oh, we noticed in, you know, I mean, think about what they would ask Immortals after getting 3-0'd by TSM. We noticed that you guys played 3 ADCs in game 1. What were you thinking? Why didn't you just play the tank meta like everyone else does? Well, we think the tank meta is stupid, and the fact that Riot hasn't addressed any way to properly combat it is a problem.
I feel like that's a good answer, though.
That is a great answer. Do you think Riot wants to hear somebody questioning whether or not they're doing the right thing for the competitive scene?
That's true. But
that's a whole nother can of worms.
If the pro players can't question it, then who can? I mean, they're the only ones that have actual perspective on the whole thing.
And who supposedly have inside access to it, because when they're testing things, they bring a lot of pros in when they're testing important stuff.
Right.
At least that's happened in the past.
That's what they say they did.
Well, no, there is evidence that they had.
That's what they say. They brought in pro players to test the game.
The pros were the ones saying
for the competitive balance.
Competitive balance. That's sort of a
competitive.
That's a fun term. That's a fun term to throw around.
Competitive integrity. I'm so tired of that fucking word.
Competitive integrity. They don't use it correctly at all.
Who, Riot or the memers that throw it around like it's a joke?
I think the only person in the League of Legends community that has used competitive integrity correctly is me.
I might have done it once.
I remember you commending me on my use of the term competitive integrity as properly using it.
I don't know if that's fair. I commend you on everything. I just like to make you feel good.
I do good things.
Do you?
I do good things.
Maybe.
I do good. But so kind of we're getting a little off topic. Back to more of the actual games themselves.
Oh, okay.
We'll get back to this. We'll kick back to that because all of this stuff is linked together. All this stuff is linked together. On the European side, I feel like it was much less exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Again, despite it went 5 games. Right, it went 5 games, G2 and H2K.
You'd have to tell me.
I believe it did go 5 games.
But
there were 5. It was 5 really uninspiring games that G2 played very well in.
Right. That's kind of how I feel about every European game this season. Right?
Yeah, it was
they just seemed dull.
Not that they were dull. I think that's a bit harsh because they weren't all bad games. There were some pretty good games this season, but I think as a whole, Europe was far more
snooze fest instead of clown fiesta.
Easy to predict. No, I don't think they were clown fiestas. That's more of
the opposite. Oh. So if we're going on,
it was really standard League of Legends. Let's put it that way.
On a slide scale, 0 is snooze fest, 10 is clown fiesta. Europe is like a 3.
I think they're a solid 4.5.
Really? That close? I don't know.
I mean, America's clearly a 9.
Maybe an 11. Depends on who's playing.
It's a scale of 10 to 11.
Yeah.
They don't even start with 0 to 9.
It's always Clown Fiesta.
It's always a clown fiesta, and that just spills over into the community, onto the League of Legends forums and everything.
I have a question. Is saying Clown Fiesta still cool, or are we past that?
It honestly was never cool.
Okay. So now are we saying it?
Which is why it's trickled down to us.
Are we saying it ironically?
I don't know.
You're the one. That's kind of cool.
You keep saying it.
I think we have to come together and make a decision. Yes, we're saying.
Don't bring me into this.
Yes, we're saying it ironically, so it's cool.
This we thing that you keep using. I'm unfamiliar with this term. This we. I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Are you using it ironically?
Yes, I'm totally using it ironically, so it's cool.
Oh, okay. It's not cool.
It's totally cool.
It isn't.
No, look, I know what's cool.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I've never been cool in my entire life.
You've never no idea. And this isn't helping. Telling us how cool you are or aren't is definitely not helping.
Yeah, that's something cool guys do. They just tell everyone how cool they are.
Yeah, cool. Something cool.
Hey,
guys
dudes,
do.
I'm a cool dude too. You guys want to hang out and be cool dudes?
Hey, let's be cool dudes together. Yeah, that's what cool guys do, isn't it?
That's exactly what they do.
I wouldn't know.
So to recap, yes, I am cool. And also, Europe, kind of dull.
Europe, not dull, just very standard. I feel like their League of Legends is just played well. Not amazing, not poorly. It's just played well. Their good players are very good. Their bad players are, not that great. And their games are just very...
dull.
Good.
It's okay, you could say it.
It's not dull.
There's a safe space.
No, I'm not like, it's not a dull game. It's just their highs and their peaks and their valleys aren't like this. They're like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their highs are here and their lows are only here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in America, you know, your highs are here, but your lows are way down there.
This is super helpful for the people listening to the audio podcast.
Highs, I'm pointing upward and then downward.
Right.
And in Europe, my hands are very close.
There you go.
They're very close.
We needed the visual.
They'll figure it out. Yeah. Everyone, these are free on YouTube. It's not like we're on YouTube Red, which sounds like PornTube.
It really does. But that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
That's a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
If I am allowed to quote the Wizard of Oz.
You're not. That's copyright. We're gonna get taken down now.
I just did it. Listen, if the Wizard of Oz is listening and going, those tower dive fucks used a line from our movie, then awesome for us, because the people that are in charge of the Wizard of Oz estate are listening to our show. Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for being a part.
Yeah.
So, so there was no controversy at all on the European side. It was just like, G2 won. Better luck next time. I mean, I know Prolly was pretty disappointed, and H2K really was very disappointed because it just sort of fell apart for them.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I feel bad for Forgiven partially. I mean, we've given him a hard time in the past, but this is a guy who just wants to win.
Right.
And you got to respect that to a level.
Oh, absolutely. You know, but at the same time, he's a dickbag.
To some degree, you have... Yeah, but you know what? All of the superstars are.
That's true.
The best players tend to be douchebags.
You guys think it's fun to go out and grab a coffee with Bjergsen? It's probably not.
I bet you he's super not fun.
He's probably, you know, he's that friend that only talks about League of Legends.
And I bet he's rather uncomfortable to be around, and he's not, like, easy to talk to. And he's one of those guys you have to pry everything out of, like you're talking to a 3-year-old. So, did you have a good day today? What'd you do? Who'd you do it with?
Yes.
Where'd you do it?
Yes.
And it's just like,
yes.
Do I have to ask him any questions? Can I just say, hey, what's up? And then you just extrapolate on that? Because obviously in that what's up, all of those questions were in there.
No, I need specifics.
No. I have to ask fucking every single question like I'm goddamn interviewing you.
You got to carry the conversation, man.
Yeah, I hate that.
Really? It seems to be like you kind of like it a little bit.
No, it's just I'm incredibly good at it.
Oh, okay.
Over the years, I've gotten very good at carrying people.
Not to brag, I'm just super good at being social.
Really great at that. In high school, one of my teachers used to call me a social butterfly.
You're just a
She
butterfly.
She meant it insultingly.
Oh,
But
well,
I took it as
that's a very nice compliment.
I took it as a compliment.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're like a social butterfly." I said, "Thank you very much for saying that. I am all over the place and speaking with many different people because butterflies don't fly in the same place."
Don't they migrate? Did I make that up? I don't know. I just know what I know from watching that new Heroes show where all the butterflies wound up in the Arctic.
Nobody watches that hero show. That's why they fucking can't.
Did they cancel it?
Well, they didn't renew it. Let's put it that way.
They should. Then why didn't they just end it?
Oh, did they not?
Nope, cliffhanger.
Oh well, then yeah. See, it got canceled.
Fucking stupid.
That is a dead on balls. You got canceled, son. Boom, Dunzo.
Speaking of Dunzo.
Speaking of Dunzo.
Sick transition.
Do you want to go with it? Roll with it.
Do it.
No, give me it.
No, you said speaking of Dunzo.
But you were clearly going somewhere because you knew where I was going.
I was just picking up what you were putting down. Anyway, speaking of Dunzo, back to the Aphro drama.
Go on.
Right, that's what we're doing.
And we were talking about the Aphro drama.
Are we not done with that? I didn't think we were done with it. I like it. I like the Aphro drama. I think it shows real personality here, and that's what esports is missing.
Here's the thing.
I hate canned answers.
I think the use of the term drama in this regard, speaking in air quotes, I don't think this is drama. I just think this is being real.
Yeah, drama.
No, it's not drama because that's the problem is that esports as a whole is such a young world and when somebody throws shade on somebody else,
it's the best. It's
not drama, man. It's just human nature. When you've had a relationship with somebody for so long and then to start the season, they throw your former team's jersey in the garbage and they say we're not friends anymore. And you kind of were like, I thought we were still friends. And then you know what? During the course of a season, we don't know what their relationship is. We don't know what they're saying to each other or what they're not saying to each other or how they're interacting with one another when they see each other because you know that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all run in the same fucking circles.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on for that. And you want to know what? That was an emotional moment for Aphro, you have to assume.
Well,
winning under difficult circumstances. Basically, at the beginning of the season, nobody expected them to be very good. I think the highest anyone had them predicted at was 5th.
Right.
So coming in, winning as well, playing as well as you did so quickly, becoming a team, playing 2 complete rookies, and then coming out on top against your former friend, essentially. And yeah, you know what? That's an emotional moment. And some of the shit he said, I don't maybe agree with where he said it or why he said it, but I understand the fact that that was just a moment of emotion, raw emotion. And that's not drama. That's just being fucking real. And I respect the shit out of it.
It's the best drama. It's just, here's why it's the best drama. It's honest, right?
But it's not dramatic.
It's totally dramatic. He's fucking calling DoubleLift out and he's gonna say he's gonna punch him in the face.
He didn't say that at all.
Not in so many words. You gotta read between the lines. Come on, man. You know. So when you thank everyone besides, your former teammate who you just beat,
he don't
thank him.
He thanked ex-CLG players. He didn't even thank his current teammates.
He's straight up calling DoubleLift to the Fight Club.
I really feel like you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
No, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight in real life. And
it's not gonna be a fucking
It's gonna be amazing.
Fight.
It's gonna be a street fight. They're gonna have to put the cardboard down.
They're not breakdancing.
Then you gotta put the cardboard down.
No,
you don't cut your feet on the pavement.
You break dance on cardboard. You don't fight on cardboard.
You also fight on cardboard. It's in the rules.
You've never been in a fight in your whole entire life.
I got punched in the face one time in middle school. That was about it.
What was her name?
It was a boy.
Jacob. I don't believe
punched me square in the nose.
He probably deserved it.
I might have.
You probably deserved it.
I might have.
It happens.
Yeah.
But
some people deserve to get punched in the nose.
I tell you what, the more ridiculous drama surfaced even more further after even beyond the game, when they named Stixxay as the MVP of the series.
Why is that dramatic?
I didn't think it was dramatic at all. I thought it was just them throwing a bone to a guy who played well when it was important.
Yeah.
People lost their shit over it.
Really?
Aphro should have been the MVP. Darshan should have been the MVP. Bjergsen should have been the MVP, even though his team lost. And teams losing MVPs don't usually happen in any sport. Why would esports all of a sudden try and buck that trend? But no, Stixxay wasn't even the best player on his team. Well, you want to know what? Stixxay kind of won him the game in Game 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aphro played really well. And Thorin thinks that Aphro should have been MVP. But again,
I think there's definitely a case to be made there. Sure.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. I'm going to hit you with one question.
Okay.
Who fucking cares? Who is the MVP? Who is the MVP last split? Exactly. Previous split before that?
I don't know.
The only person I ever remember being MVP is Chaos because he said it so goddamn much. He didn't even actually win MVP. But he's the only person I remember being called an MVP, and it was by him. So this is such an unremarkable award. It's not like it's a big deal.
It's not
a big deal.
It's not even the MVP for the whole split. It's the MVP for that specific series.
It's not even a real award.
It's not like he doesn't get a bonus or anything.
It's not like they gave him a Ford fucking F-150. Here you go. Enjoy it, MVP.
Your brand new Ford Fusion.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm the MVP.
This is a 2013 model. What do you mean brand new?
Yeah, whose car is this? Some guy in the parking lot. Hey, where's my car? It's just like, who cares? Why? And people were so angry and are still angry about it. Even Thorin, shame on you. There are more important things to talk about than why Stixxay won MVP over Aphro. No one really cares. This isn't news. This isn't a thing.
I kind of get the case for Aphro.
I agree that you could have easily picked Aphro as the MVP, and I don't disagree with that. And in some cases, you're right. He should have won it simply because he's been the rock for that team all season long.
Right.
It should have been a full season award. It's not a full season award. It's an award for the fucking finals. It's the finals MVP, not the fucking season MVP. It's a completely different thing. Is there a
season MVP?
Does it matter? Would you care?
Probably not.
Okay, so that's the point that I'm making. Unless they're going to make a big deal about these awards and have awards ceremonies and give them real things, then these are just booby prizes.
Pats on the back.
Yeah, it's just like a high five. Good job. We're going to call you the MVP. Why? I don't know. You're the first name we fucking thought of.
We fucking pulled a name out of the hat and you were it.
Yeah, it's not like they had like a ceremony at the end of the season. These are our MVPs. Rookie of the year goes to blah, 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 blah. You know, it's when you want to make something a big deal, make it a big deal. So then there can actually be legitimate discussion over who deserves awards and who doesn't.
That makes sense. And also don't make the decision on the spot right after the series.
Yeah. You know, the MVP voting for most sports happens during the fucking final, during the championship game.
Does it really?
During like Super Bowl MVPs, you have to put your ballots in before the game ends for the people that are allowed to vote.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Stuff like that, so people, it is a knee-jerk reaction in a sense, where you're like, whoa, big play by Stixxay. You know what? I'm voting for him. I don't know if that's how they do it.
In the hat.
I'm voting for him for MVP because you know what? He showed up this split, and people are like really insulting the way he played. He played very well.
He played super well.
I mean, they outplayed TSM's bot lane. Yeah. Argue it as much as you like. They outplayed them.
Sure.
The Stixxay Aphro bot lane was better than Yellowstar DoubleLift.
I don't know if that's saying that much.
But TSM fans, you can sit in there argue till cows come home that DoubleLift or that Bjergsen outplayed both of them and deserved the MVP. You fucking lost. You're not going to win an MVP. Better luck next time, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're not getting an MVP for a losing fucking team because unless he went 36-0 when they lost, that's the only way you'll get a consideration for an MVP.
Do you think...
Unless he was so far above and beyond everybody else, where everybody else died and had no kills or any assists, and you did everything, You had 5 Baron kills on your own and 100 Dragon kills, and you never died.
Wow,
you ended a 5-game series with 79 kills. You know, you never lost a single buff, but your team lost because, damn it, you couldn't carry them enough. Then maybe you'll win it. But probably not still, because you're on the losing team. Losing teams don't get MVPs. Because you want to know what? You're the most valuable player on a team that didn't win. They still would have lost if you weren't there.
Yeah.
People don't understand that shit. Like the term MVP, people don't understand what it means. Most valuable player. Oh, God.
So what's the V? What's the V mean?
Exactly.
I just totally... You said it, and then I lost it. Most something person, right?
Yeah, it's not most popular person on Reddit. That's not.
I feel like that's the award that they should hand out, though.
Yeah, that's the award people want to be handed out. You know, but that's not person I want to win. No, that's not the award.
That's not what goes on the trophy.
Stixxay was valuable to his team winning the championship.
Yeah.
Like it or not, they thought he was the most valuable player for his team winning the championship. Maybe Bjergsen was the most valuable player in his team, but they lost.
Right.
So his value is significantly degraded when he's on a team that didn't win.
Do you think Riot should do special, like, actual awards for MVPs?
I think if they're going to hand them out to people, that they should make a bigger deal about it if they want people to care.
At least for the finals. Right.
For Worlds, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, for Worlds, sure.
For Worlds, definitely. But for the LCS, again,
maybe not.
If they want it to be, well, I think they should, but I think it shouldn't be a split award. It should be a cumulative award. But again, that then falls into the situation of what if a team gets relegated type thing. Again, there would be a player consideration for, and there are awards given out because the MVP for this year was Rainover.
Did you win something?
I don't know.
That's what I don't know if
I don't think they get anything. Again, they're like booby prizes. They're no prizes.
How,
nothing.
So if this was a baseball game, do they do MVPs for every game in baseball?
No. Nobody cares.
Okay.
There's awards at the end of the season.
Because there's an MVP in the LCS every single game. Right? So.
Yeah, but that's like a player of the week type thing.
Yeah.
Like they do that in baseball.
Sure.
But those are nothing. But nobody cares about that. You don't get anything for
that. But there's a player for every. There's like an MVP for every single game. That seems like a lot. That kind of degrades the title, I think.
Use it. Yeah. Well, they shouldn't use the term play. You shouldn't use the term MVP. It should be players of the week.
And it should be one player in the week.
But if you want to do like at every position, like they usually do every position, which is unnecessary.
No one gives a shit who the MVP is for Dignitas versus Renegades.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like,
no one cares.
Yeah, they do.
Great, it's Crumbs this week. Awesome. Who cares?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just silly. It's just saturation.
Oversaturation.
Yeah, you're just oversaturating something, and that's why it has no meaning. That's why people don't care. I mean, the only reason people like me remember that Emperor was the MVP or Trick was the MVP in Europe is because I'm stupid and remember stuff like that because I'm like Rain Man with that kind of crap.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't know Trick was the MVP in Europe.
He was.
I only know Stixxay was because of all the fucking drama surrounding it.
And he wasn't the MVP. He was the MVP of the finals.
That's what I said.
Yeah, Trick was the MVP of the season, just like Rainover was the MVP of the season.
I gotcha.
Which, again, actually should mean more.
They should actually win a Ford Fusion.
Yes.
But like maybe like a 2012. You know, it doesn't have to be real nice.
I bet you Rainover doesn't have a driver's license in America, so he shouldn't have won a Ford Fusion.
Okay, well, maybe like a scooter or something. Like a 50cc. You don't have to have a license for those.
You know what? Or, hey, Riot Games, you're a game company. You make games. Make a fucking skin special for them.
No, that'd be ridiculous. They can't even make skins for the World Championships that they like.
Yeah, because they can't figure that shit out. That's a whole, again, another horse of a different color that you can't even, it's a can of worms you start opening, you just can't get back to,
Is it too late to talk about that? Did we talk about that in the last episode?
We did not, about how they fucked up their skins.
How they made skins that were so mediocre that even the World Championships were dissatisfied with them.
Yeah, the world champions themselves were dissatisfied. Dissatisfied.
And it took them coming out on live television saying we don't like this for a change to happen.
And the fact that they just ignored that Easy Hoon was actually a player on the team who actually played a significant role. And like, well, normally we only do 5 skins.
Who cares? Who cares what you normally do? Just make another skin.
Yeah, just make another fucking skin. Stop being idiots. You're a goddamn game company.
Make your game.
Make your fucking game. Do what you do.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
You should start working on these skins literally the moment that there is a world champion crowned. You should start fucking, R&D on this.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be, we're going to take 6 months off. No, you're a game company. You're always working on this game. Get your shit fucking together and make these skins so they're worthwhile. I shouldn't have to wait until next Worlds to get the previous World skins.
I'm kind of okay with waiting till the mid-season
unless they're
invitational.
good.
Well, they gotta be fucking good.
Mid-season, fine. I have no problem.
Yeah.
Half a season should take, but then they better be dope.
Yeah, better than the 750s they usually put out.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the Samsung skins.
Yeah,
I liked the previous SKT skins.
Yeah, they're all right. But
I like the TPA skins best though.
The Fnatic ones are good too.
Yeah, those were also
much after the fact. Years after the fact.
I think TPA's actually got the best skins.
As a whole, probably. As a whole, they probably do. Because those were the first.
Yeah, I guess they were.
They did it right.
I was about to say second, but that wouldn't be true.
Nope, that was in fact false.
Yeah.
So yeah, they it's just, I don't know, it's stupid. They're just
dumb.
Bad. They're just bad skins, and they got called out on it, and then they tried to, with this retraction, they tried to give this really serious retraction. After looking at it, we realized, no, you didn't. You just got so much blowback that you realized that we fucked up.
Yeah.
These aren't up to our standard of quality. If SKT didn't come out and say this is bullshit and these suck, essentially, they would have released them and said, "Fuck you, community. We don't care if you guys don't like them. Go buy them anyway."
They're 750 skins. They're not making any money on these.
Oh yeah, they're not making any money on those. Yeah, they are.
I don't know. I wonder what their margins are for skins. I'd like to see how much actual money they make per skin sale.
I guarantee you it's a lot.
You think so?
If it wasn't, they wouldn't release skins like
a 750. I don't know.
Yeah, I think 750s. I think those are the ones they make the most money on.
You think so?
Because I think those ones take the least amount of work.
Yeah, that could be true.
I think your epic and your legendary skins and in your ultimate skins, I don't think those ones are a lot of money being made, because I don't think a lot of the community are buying those as much. I think the SKT skins and shit, championship skins, people are buying those as packs.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not buying them as packs. I don't care about certain skins, but other people are like, I need to have all of them. Oh, look, fucking Swift Bolt Varus and Braum Keg Eater Smasher.
Yeah, those are going on sale though.
I know, but I'm saying is those ones are, I feel like so little work really has to go into making those skins as far as artists go. I mean, these are professional artists.
Yeah, but you know how long these things take. I mean, it's got to be.
I have no idea.
You went to school for 3D art.
Yeah, but I don't work at Riot, so I don't do this every single day.
Yeah, but
for them it might be a little bit different.
You have a pretty good idea on how long it takes to do a new texture pack and some small model changes.
Yeah, not that long.
I would probably quote it 12 hours for a 750 skin.
Maybe.
For, brand new hand-painted texture, yeah, I think 12 hours. So a day and a half.
Maybe 12 hours, maybe. It's a day and a half, man. That's like one day for the people at Riot with the way that they work.
No, they're not doing 12-hour days. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they are some.
For why?
Because they don't have lives, man. A lot of Riot people, they spend their whole fucking lives with Riot.
I think they spend their whole day playing League of Legends, and they're like, "Oh shit, I got work to do."
No, I've read like testimonials of people that work there. It's like, "Oh, I start my day, I go to work like 9 o'clock. I'll work for a solid 6 hours, and I'll relax, and I'll do this, and I'll work for another like 4 hours, and then I'll hang out late night with people and play games at Riot." You spent like 17 hours at the office.
Don't do that.
Why are you doing that?
Dear Riot employees, don't do that.
Yeah, dear Riot employees, work-life balance, man. Work-life balance doesn't mean I work and I spend my life at Riot. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. You're working there. Great. Everybody wants to. I want to. It's awesome. But you have to have a work-life balance.
Yeah, go home at some point.
When you're done with work, go fucking home.
Yeah.
Just because Medler's like, hey, you want to play D&D with us tonight? You know what? No, take the day off. You go out with your friends, have a beer.
Yeah.
Don't spend all day at Riot.
You weirdos.
You're not scoring any extra points.
You kooks.
You fucking strangey McStrangerson.
Speaking of Riot being strange, let's talk about these new changes coming down the pipeline. These new mid-season Mage updates. Let me preface the start of this segment by saying I think the timing is really bad. For the caliber of a lot of these changes, these all seem like preseason changes, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, is this patch gonna go through before the Invitational?
I mean, I can't imagine MSI playing on this.
Because it'd be ridiculous.
It'd be bad and wouldn't have enough time to practice on it.
They're redoing
if they allow them to play on this, that is a fucking incredible mistake. But it wouldn't be the first time they've done something stupid.
No.
Go on.
Where they push a patch out super quickly.
Yeah, and force you to play on it.
Yeah, it's a ton of changes. And I don't know if I've seen enough of them to actually make an educated analysis of what's going on.
A lot of them are still pretty early on. Like, let's start with I think one of the biggest ones that is kind of setting off people.
Okay, wait. Before we do this, let's do it fun. On the count of 3, you say what you think the biggest thing is, and I'll say what I think the biggest thing is.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Dragons.
Elemental dragons.
Yes.
Okay, good. We're on the same spot. This is
great.
Right there, babe. Right there. So yeah. So perfect. I'm glad we are in agreement, so we don't have to decide which one we're going to talk about
first.
Great.
I love it.
The elemental dragons.
It seems dumb.
If you don't know what that means, then you haven't been paying attention. What that means is they're changing dragon to now spawn elemental dragons, which that means there is a fire, a water, an air, and an earth dragon. And the first one spawns randomly.
Before you keep going, is there a dragon that encompasses all the elements?
You mean Captain Dragon?
Or like an avatar dragon?
Well, there's Elder Dragon as well.
Oh, okay, so there is.
But I was going to get to that.
Great.
So you have your four dragons that can randomly spawn. The first one, you have no idea what it's going to be. It spawns 6 minutes, whatever it is the dragon spawns. Or 3 minutes, is it? 2:30, something like that. 2:23, whatever the time is the dragon spawns. Early. It is actually, because it spawns when Scuttle Crab spawns, which is I think at 2:23.
Okay, I believe you.
2:23.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you put your foot in your mouth this time. Everyone already knows I don't know where Brussels is, so I'm gonna let everyone think that you don't know. Where
I believe we didn't know where Brussels was. Thank you very much. I will add myself to that list. We thought it was in Germany. It's not. So turns out totally different country. Who knew?
Oops.
Sorry, people from Brussels. We apologize again. Humbly. So yeah, your first dragon spawns. You don't know what it's going to be. You go to it. Oh my God, it's the water dragon. Look at that. It's a water dragon. So you get, you kill it. You get your water buff, which is increasing. I think like mana regen or healing, something like that. Each dragon has a different buff.
And it's for the whole team.
And it's a very specific buff.
Okay.
So after you kill the first dragon, I believe the next dragon that spawns, it will let you know what it's going to be.
Yes.
So it's no longer random as much.
It's still random. You just know what it is.
Did you freeze?
Did you freeze?
Oh, no, there you are. There was a weird freeze or something that happened there.
It's not. It's still random. It just tells you what it is beforehand.
It's random, but you know what is coming.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You know what's coming to you.
There's no set order, I guess. After
no. It's not like you're going to get fire and then water. You could get the same dragon every single time.
Yeah.
Because it's totally RNGesus. So after 30 minutes, I think is what it is the number. The Elder Dragon is the only
35.
dragon that will spawn. 35 minutes?
I think it's 35.
Well, whatever the
30
timer
to 35 minutes.
After
when your dragon
X amount of time.
When your dragon is golden brown.
Yeah.
And has reached a temperature of 475 degrees internal.
Right. Then you flip it. So then the Elder Dragon spawns. Now he is a lot more difficult, and will probably require almost all your team. They say it's going to require everybody. We all know eventually someone's going to solo it.
Of course. That's the benchmark. That's what you do.
Yeah. You're eventually going to have somebody soloing it. So an Elder Dragon gives you a much bigger buff. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but whatever, it's a buff. And then that's the dragon that will spawn from that point on.
Mm-hmm. It also increases, I think it increases whatever buffs you have stacked on from other
it does a whole bunch of shit. I honestly,
dragons.
I don't care because I don't care for this little dragon hunting minigame that they're creating. Because all people want dragon to be is something meaningful, i.e. global gold.
Right.
And for some reason, Riot thinks that that's not a good idea.
No.
I don't know why.
So I'm going to play just devil's advocate.
I love playing devil's advocate.
I'm going to assume the stance of pro elemental dragons. And you're going to be con elemental dragons.
So I'm going to be me.
I'm going to be...
And you're going to be an idiot.
Yes.
Okay. I love it.
The thing that I think is good about elemental dragons is that when one spawns, you can make a very clear decision on whether you think that's valuable for your specific win condition or not. If you're playing a siege poke comp and the dragon spawns that gives you team fighting buffs, that's not helpful to you. You just ignore that objective. So if you see the other team go for that, you don't contest it. You can do other things.
Okay, can I interject with some information?
No, that was the end of my point.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, but I'm gonna interject with some information that also comes with the whole dragon changes. The jungle changes.
Right.
Because this is gonna be crucial to what you just said.
Right.
What they're changing about jungle is the jungle buffs are going to, after the first time you get them, where they last 120 seconds, they will only last 90 seconds.
The buff lasts 90 seconds?
The buff will only last 90 seconds.
Oof.
It usually lasts 120.
Yeah.
Now it's going to last 90 the second time you get it, not the first time. First time will still be 120.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing, that the big change about the jungle, because they are changing kind of how the buffs work and the XP that you get and blah, blah, blah. Now, since the addition of jungle timers, normally you'd know when the other team's jungle is spawning, if you had a ward there, or if you saw it killed, or if you killed it, or what have you. Now, at 60 seconds...
Before the respawn,
everyone is going to get the jungle timer on all the jungle. Like all the jungle camps, the ones that are important, your blue buff, your red buff, etc. So, in what you said about you can make a conscious decision of going after dragon, if you decide, oh, it's water, we don't want the water dragon, but look, their red buff just spawned.
Right.
We can take their buffs as they're going for dragon.
Exactly.
And while that sounds cool, it makes the game stupid and easy.
It seems to make the game too easy. That's what I don't like about the jungle timers, is it almost... It
trivializes
it seems to make it too easy. Although I've never... In every other competitive type game I've played, I've never played it long enough to be in the party that is like, oh, Riot's ruining this game by making it too easy for noobs. I've never been that guy. I think I'm that guy now.
You're getting there.
I think it happened.
I played WoW and I was that guy. I was there at the beginning and at the end.
I don't know. It just seems like they're making wards not super important.
They're making vision mean nothing.
A lot less significant.
I mean,
than it was in the past.
What it feels like is they just want you to fight.
Yeah, they just want team fights.
They just want team fights, and that's fine, but it takes away the strategy element of the game. If you're just going to go there and it's going to be a noodle fight for for a half an hour, and whoever comes out, because they're lowering death timers, which needs to happen, which is going to increase fighting.
There's more free information.
There's more free information. They're making towers more difficult to dive, so you're going to have more conflict at towers. Because you're not just going to allow people to just take your towers anymore, especially if they take forever to kill, because you can't eat tower blasts like you used to.
So let's play out this buff scenario just a little bit more.
Sure.
Let's say I'm on the red team, you're on the blue team.
Okay.
I'm on the red team. I see that in 60 seconds, your buff is going to spawn.
Right.
You know the same thing.
And I know that you know the same thing.
Right. You know I know that you know.
Yes.
We
all know that the buffs are spawning now.
I'm planning to invade your blue buff, right?
So
I have double AP. You know that
I'm planning to invade yours.
Or are you planning to counter invade, right? Set up vision beforehand, wait for you to come in, and then stop it.
There's a chance. I mean,
you're
going to have...
That seems like it just falls right into they just want more fighting.
They're creating, more instances where you're going to fight over objectives, so to speak. But here's the thing. It makes jungling so much more difficult, because if I'm on the team...
I think it makes it easier.
Well, no, what I'm saying, it makes it, as a jungler, more difficult to get your own buffs.
Sure. You're going to have to rely on your team to defend your buffs.
Because if I'm on a team, if my teammate, like if my top laner doesn't drop when I'm at my blue buff, and I see that their jungler now is engaging me, and their top laner drops, there's going to be a situation where where as a jungler now I have to rely on people where I didn't, and I hate relying on people, because I'll be honest with you, I don't trust anybody when I'm playing this game if I don't know them. I barely trust them when I do.
So I think the consensus is good for competitive, bad for solo queue.
It's good for if you like fighting. It's bad for if you enjoyed playing this game. And not having to be forced into fights for everything. I mean, jungle invades happen a lot more now than they used to already.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now you're just forcing the issue.
Yeah.
Like they're telling you to invade now.
I just don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't necessarily think it's good.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it takes focus away from taking real objectives, and you're just now you're babysitting buffs.
But if they change the buffs to be real objectives.
Yeah, but we both know that they're not going to make them that valuable.
If they're only lasting 90 seconds, they might be. Although they're probably not going to be much stronger than Herald is right now.
Which also, Herald, the change to that is it's only going to last. It's only going to be one Herald, and it's going to persist through death, the buff.
Whoa.
Yeah. The buff is going to be a 20-minute buff.
Holy shit.
It persists.
Do I like that? It sounds real. I don't know.
Like I said, these changes are
it's
drastic.
A lot. They're big changes.
They're drastic in some cases, and really big in some cases.
And then in other cases, like the change to Annie's Tibbers, so mediocre no one cares.
But then on the flip side of that, the changes to like how Malzahar operates.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Malzahars on the PBE soloing Dragon at level 3.
Right.
Which is not good.
They'll just change it. I mean,
I'm sure they will.
This seems like an instance where Riot was like, oh, we didn't think of that. Because they have, they're fucking, everything's compartmentalized, right? So they had like the Malzahar balance team. They're like, yes, 100 fucking Voidlings. And then you have the Dragon team fight balance team, and they're like, you know what would be really great? 5 different types of dragons, and neither one of them's talking to each other. And so then they come together in this game, and then it's like, you guys are doing dragons, we're doing monsters that come out of champ. We should have talked.
The problem is like right now, just off the bat, a lot of these champion changes to these mages are making them really broken.
It's just making them really easy.
Well, like Vladimir can be made like this ridiculous monster.
I didn't see Vladimir changes on there. I think those might be more item changes than...
No. Vladimir got changes as well.
What are his changes?
If you're asking me to quote them directly, I don't know.
I just don't know what they are. I didn't see him on the list.
Well, he was on the list. I just know that there were some changes where if you build him a certain way, he becomes very unkillable.
I got a cramp. Oh, my calf.
You are such a baby.
Holy.
You're the only person I've ever seen get a cramp during a podcast sitting down.
I know. That's rough.
Now,
Sorry,
speaking of changes, let's go with a little one that's a little bit more on the cusp right here. Like we just got it. And I'm speaking about Taric. Now on paper, Taric's changes look pretty neat.
This one's
despite
fresh.
The fact that he only has one damaging spell.
Right.
But he's true support.
How many? There's 4 champions now that have only one damaging spell.
I think that's what they said.
Tryndamere, Zelene, Taric, and Bard.
Tryndamere, Zelene.
I think is what it is.
Taric and Bard. That sounds
if you don't include passives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you don't dig too deep.
Right. So, I've played 2 games with a Taric on my team.
How'd those go?
I think new Taric sucks.
You think it sucks?
Unless I just had remarkably bad luck playing with really terrible people that were playing Taric, which also possible.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems very lackluster.
I think he's got some new mechanics that people are not prepared for. I think he's kind of like when Bard released and everybody fucking hated Bard.
Not Crepo. Crepo loved Bard when he came out.
Yeah, well, whatever. Who cares about Crepo? Just one more quick thing about Crepo. He's gotten so handsome over like the last year and a half.
Well, he lost all of his weird fat guy.
We used to make fun of him for being a little chubby Belgium kid.
Yeah.
And now he's like this handsome dude in suspenders. Anyways, what were we talking about? Taric. A lot of his back on Crepo. His big abilities all have this long channel time, right? And that's going to require some actual practice to be able to hit it.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the disconnect is people not being prepared to have all your CC and your peeling and your good stuff have long channel times, and there's no panic button. You can't panic as Taric.
No, you shouldn't. But
I haven't played him at all. You know?
Having played with him, he just seems very lackluster right now. And again, maybe it's just because people haven't gotten it yet, which is very possible since today was the first day he was released.
I think that's happened with all supports that get released early. Or that just get released.
It was all champions that get released. Just.
Well, I don't know. Aurelion Sol was actually pretty strong on release.
Well, he was way too strong.
Yeah.
They had to dial him back a little bit.
Yeah. But every support that has come out...
But Aurelion Sol doesn't take any skill at all to play.
No, you just stand there.
You just stand there, back up when people come towards you. So
that's why I think Taric is... At least these Tarics that you were playing with is looking very weak. I think people are not using it correctly. Probably
not. And again, I don't sit there and say that I'm this master player. I mean, I was really good with Taric back in the day.
You were really good with Taric.
I was filthy with Taric.
Mm-hmm.
But this Taric is not that Taric.
No.
Very different Taric.
Different Taric. I don't know. I got to play him to see if I like him.
That's
why I missed Team Builder.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just the whole Q thing. I mean,
I don't want to get into it. We've talked about it. It's been talked to death. The solo Q is never coming back. Team Builder's never coming back. We're doing dynamic Q now. We gotta be happy with it.
And that's fine. But again, it comes back to like Riot and their communication practices
are
just still so bad.
They think they're good at it.
And they keep trying to change them to make them better, and all they do is just make them not worse, but not better. They're still very bad.
They just need to stop. Stop communicating. Put stuff on the PBE. In the patch notes, you can, that's the one thing that I like about the communication is they explain their intent behind the buffs and nerfs in the patch notes.
Yeah, they can explain.
That's
so what you're saying is that they can explain aspects of their game, but they can't explain the social reasons of why they do and don't do things.
Exactly.
So they can explain mechanical stuff,
sure,
but not like people things.
No. Because they're clueless when it comes to people.
Because they're a terrible people person company.
Yeah, they're that stinky kid in high school who couldn't talk to girls. They were me in high school.
Did you hear that they de-riotized all the Riot employees' accounts?
Ooh, they took the Riot off of it?
No, they de-riotized.
What does that mean?
Well, when you start working at Riot, you get all of the champions and skins and everything.
Right. And like you get an allowance of RP every...
Well, you don't need RP because they give you everything.
Do they unlock the skins? I thought they just give you RP and you can unlock whatever
they give you
want.
everything.
Okay.
Skins, everything. So they de-riotized all the employee accounts.
They took away all the champions and skins and stuff?
They took away all the stuff that they gave them, and they just have like regular accounts.
Why did they do that?
Well, they felt that their employees there was a strong disconnect between them and the average player because the Riot employee no longer understood like gated content.
Oh, good God. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not making this up at all. This is 100% fact.
Why?
They felt that the player base and the
where's this
development
coming from?
team. What do you mean? Where's this coming from?
Like, how do you? Was there like an article written on this? What's the source?
I have a source.
You have a source. Okay, so you're the source.
No, I'm not the source.
But the source is coming.
As well, but regardless,
a source close to the company has reported to you.
Well, no, Travis also reported on it, but I also knew this as well.
Okay.
I knew this as well. They de-riotized their.
That seems so stupid.
That was a Travis term. That's not a me term. The de-riotizing. I just heard that they removed all this stuff.
Stupid.
But yeah, so they took, because like I said, they felt their employees had a disconnect with the average player, and that they could no longer understand frustrations with gated content, i.e., with IP gains and runes and getting all this stuff, because they already had all this stuff and it was given to them.
Oh my God, who cares? Why does Monica in accounting need to know the perils of gated content and how difficult it is to grind out IP?
What I want to know
doesn't care.
What I want to know is just because you don't have to grind out IP doesn't mean that you don't know that it's hard.
Yeah.
Or it's annoying.
There are other games with gated content that these people probably play.
And these people all probably played League before they worked for Riot.
They also probably play Heroes of the Storm, and they're like, God damn, it takes a lot of gold to buy a champion.
Yeah. I don't think that's where the disconnect between the players and the employees is. That's definitely not the disconnect.
This is like that thing when I worked at Shutterfly. They made all of the vending machines cost like actual vending machine money instead of having everything be a quarter.
Or just giving it to you?
Or just giving it to us. No, everything cost a quarter. And they were like, it's just a perk of working here. And then they took that away, and there was almost, for lack of a better word, there was almost a riot. It's the stupidest thing. Next, they're going to be taking away their casual Fridays because they don't understand what it's like for a real-life worker to not have casual Fridays.
Yeah, to have to not be casual ever.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, so they de-riotized all the Riot accounts because they wanted them to be able to connect with their fan base better.
That's so dumb.
It is incredible.
Especially because 90% of the employees have nothing to do with the mechanics of gaining IP or skin purchasing or anything.
Or that understanding that it's harder to do something is going to change anything.
Or that understanding that working for the company that makes the game gives you certain perks.
Like Harold in HR is going to walk into Medler's office and go, "Hey, getting IP is a pain in the ass. We should do something about that." You know what? You're right.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Harold. I never thought of that.
Oh, my God.
You're getting a promotion.
This is why we did that. Man, thank you. Also, Medler, you're fired. That's actually what I came down here for. What?
Yeah, the guys in HR told me to tell you. Yeah, we usually like to do these things on Fridays, but everyone hates you, and it's Tuesday,
but nobody likes you because you spearheaded taking away our accounts.
Yeah, so you're fired.
And you're a piece of shit.
Eat some fucking shit.
I want my PAX Twisted Fate back. You shit bag.
The end.
But it's kind of bullshit that they did that.
That's straight up bullshit.
Because it's like, that was a perk of working there.
Yeah. It's a perk, like having a certain amount of PTO.
Yeah, or like, getting free cereal.
Or like having a Starbucks machine,
Or, being able to come in at 10 o'clock. It's a perk.
Yeah. You can't take that away from your employees.
You don't just take that stuff away because it pisses them off. Especially, let's be fair, certain employees who've worked there for so long and have had all that shit. Now it's like, well, you're taking it all away. But I could have bought it all. I could have bought it all by then.
Right.
But now, so are you going to give me the IP that I gained between now and then, or the RP or whatever that I would have needed to get between now and then? Apparently, they're being given an RP stipend. I think.
I thought they already got an RP stipend.
Well, they don't need to buy anything though.
I don't know.
They get all of the stuff.
It just seems stupid.
It is
Fucking
stupid.
Give them all their content. It's so dumb. You work for the company.
You work for the company that makes the game. Why do you have to pay for skins?
Ugh.
It doesn't make any sense.
Although if you think about it, if they worked for like a clothing company, you still got to buy the clothes.
But it costs money to make clothes because you need materials.
Costs money to make skins.
These are fucking imaginary strawberry dollars.
Can we always refer to RP as strawberry dollars?
That's all it is.
That's my favorite thing now.
They're not real. It's not real money. It's monopoly money.
Oh god, it's so dumb.
You're paying money for fake money so you could buy something that's digitally made that you don't get to keep. If you uninstall the game, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
When League of Legends ceases to exist, all the money you spent on those skins, they'll just hand it to you back.
Wouldn't that be nice?
They don't send you 3D printed figures of the skins you bought.
I want a check from Riot for all the RP I purchased after I uninstalled the game.
You get nothing. At least with video games with DLC, if they stop making the game, the DLC is still available in single player. The game just doesn't cease to work.
Just gone.
But yeah, this is gone. That's it.
That's dumb.
So your imaginary strawberry dollars are going towards imaginary things that they're making. And it doesn't cost them anything because they're artists. They're paid to make things.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to make them anyway. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
Maybe.
And now you're telling these artists that are making these skins that they're not even going to get that skin.
You're not even going to get it. Yeah, I work for a printing company. I get a printed sample of everything that I make.
Yeah.
I just get it. I have to pay for it. I made it.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. It's not like you'd be like, well, we gave you a copy of the game. The game is free.
We gave you a copy of the game. Yeah, it patches every week.
Yeah, it's just I don't get that. If I was an artist and I came up with the concept for a champion, like, wow, that's great. This is how much it's gonna cost, though. You're charging me?
Yeah.
Lighter. There's that skin. There's that fucking champion concept. Figure it out. I hope you took a picture of it because I'm not drawing that again. Fuck you. I quit.
You throw the fucking sketchbook up in the air.
Yeah, right. I'm out of here. I don't want to play your stupid game
and
anyway.
You just walk out doing this.
Oh yeah, it's just.
Okay, let's. I think we end the show there.
Unbelievable, though.
That's ridiculous. This episode is pretty rough on Riot.
Well, they do dumb things, and I'm sorry. There are times in your life where you have to point out when someone does something stupid.
Exactly.
Especially someone who sits up on their perch, on their ivory tower, looking down on us, the shit-eating mongoloids, and looking down on us and going, they're fucking stupid. No, we're not stupid. You're just too dumb to understand how things really work. And sometimes you have to be told that you're too dumb to understand how something works. Sometimes it takes a mongoloid smacking you in your stupid face with his big retarded Mickey Mouse hand for you to sit there and go, wow, you know what? That guy has a point. That's just how I feel.
Tower Dive is myself, Ryan Adams, and my co-host Robert Gersey. You can find more of us at youtube.com/towerdive or wherever you find podcasts. If you have any feedback, you can leave us a comment or reach out to us on Twitter at TowerDivePC.